You know what nobody ever talks about in crypto? It's not the price swings, it's not the headlines, it's the waiting. The quiet, heavy, exhausting part where every day looks the same, the price grinds sideways, and the world pretends nothing is happening behind the scenes. And right now, that's where XRP holders are. Not weak, not shaken out, just tired. And there's a reason for that, and it's not imaginary. Let's be real, we've got ETF issuers updating filings. Canary Capital just admitted their S1 again. We've got a national trust charter decision window active for Ripple. We've got a government freeze slowing approvals and regulatory movement. And in a matter of days, Ripple Swell brings BlackRock, Nasdaq, Citi, JPMorgan, and Mastercard into one room. Not for memes, not for hopium, for infrastructure, for rails, and for settlement. This isn't a Telegram room speculation. These are institutions that don't waste their time. So why does it feel so long? Because you can see the blueprint forming and yet you're waiting for the page to turn. You've survived SEC drama, delays, government shutdowns, headlines that disappear, progress that moves slow on the surface and fast underneath. That's not weakness, that's endurance. Most people don't get this far. This moment isn't the hype phase. This isn't the easy part of the chart. This is the acceptance phase of patience right before the structure breaks. Look at any major asset that rewired finance. Apple, Amazon, Bitcoin in 2015. The exhaustion always comes right before the clarity. You don't feel tired because you're wrong. You feel tired because you're early, and early always feels lonely. But here's what we do have in plain sight. Institutional ETFs are preparing. A global liquidity reset is underway. A Ripple Trust Bank charter is under review. The US government will reopen eventually. Ripple Swell is bringing the biggest names in finance into the same building while the global payments narrative resets. Those are not accidents. That's chess. Slow, deliberate, strategic. You don't assemble that lineup for vibes. You assemble it for deployment. If you need reassurance, you're not weak for feeling tired. You've simply been strong for a long time. And when you've held through regulation, lawsuits, delays, and uncertainty, you don't quit when the board is finally moving. This isn't the part where you want to look away. This is where you breathe, stay sharp, and stay informed. We're not chasing hype here. We're tracking infrastructure in real time. And when the noise returns, you'll be the one who didn't flinch. Hold your discipline, stay informed, stay rational, stay patient. History doesn't reward the loud, it rewards the ones who endure the quiet, and you're still here. That's your edge. Again, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Everything you view on this channel is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I'm only explaining to you what I think, believe, and am doing in my own personal life, and I hope you get some value from it. But without further ado, we will hop into the price chart and see what we are dealing with today. So we did come down to 238 and tapped it pretty much perfectly. I did warn about that yesterday that we could find that 238 to 240 range, but we have moved back up. We have flipped 248 and tapped it for resistance. We have flipped EMA and we were on our positive way up, sitting at 251.9. And if we scroll out here, everything lined up kind of exactly as we planned out, with the exception of falling through this area. I was wrong about that. It went lower than I thought it would. However, if we look at the line we drew earlier, what we expected could potentially happen, or what we would like to happen, right? But if we look at what happened, this comes all the way down here, and we expected it to chop sideways here for a little bit. Instead, it came down and reloaded here and came back up. But if you look at it, we put this line here. This is Ripple Swell, right? This is November. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay, so I put this line here. It ended right there. If we scroll back, if we go back to where Ripple Swell is, which is going to be November 6th, or November 4th, 5th, and 6th, whatever. If we scroll back here, here's November 4th. So that would put us to 301 on November 4th when Ripple Swell begins. And at the end of Ripple Swell, it'd put us up in this 320 area, if I'm right. But it's crazy how this lined up perfectly. If you scroll out and look at this tap, like almost if I would have brought this line down a little bit, it would have lined up perfectly. So we'll see if this continues, but that's what we're looking at right now. And I want to touch base. There's only one little piece of news today. I touched on it yesterday slightly, but Canary Capital They updated their S1 filing for their XRP spot ETF to include the appropriate language now, targeting November 13th for a launch. So the issuer removed the delaying amendment from its S1, setting up XRP ETF for an auto-effective registration pending Nasdaq approval. Canary Funds has filed an S1 registration for its proposed XRP spot ETF, removing the delaying amendment that previously allowed SEC to control the timing effectiveness, according to Fox Business reporter Eleanor Tourette. So we talked yesterday that they didn't do it for their other Solana, Litecoin, and Hedera ETFs, but they, for some reason, had different language in on the XRP one, but they've just fixed it. So they got 20 days. So November 13th, we should get the Canary Capital ETF, hopefully. Major crypto exchange Bybit announced on Thursday it will stop onboarding new users from Japan starting Friday. The pause will take effect and will apply to all new account registrations by Japanese residents and nationals. Bybit said the decision is part of its efforts to align with the requirements of Japan's financial services agency. The exchange will take it to review and adapt, blah, blah, blah. So existing Japan users will not be affected. So they're tightening regulations in Japan. But yeah, so the Canary S1 Capital is there. Price is doing well. We're at 251.6. And if you guys are struggling, I understand. I feel you. It can be a little leery sometimes, but you guys are not alone. The XRP army is strong. We are all here. Know what you hold, not financial advice. So yeah, that's everything for now. Looks like the Canary Capital XRP ETF is finally updated. Looks like that's slated to go on November 13th, but the government will probably be reopened by then, I think, not financial advice. Price is currently at 251.4. And yeah, if you're feeling a little tired, a little dejected, you're not the only one. I know that XRP seems a little lonely sometimes because most of the people out in the real world have no idea what you're talking about, but you can always come online and touch base with the XRP army. There are plenty of us out here, and we are all waiting for the long haul. So stay safe, stay stoic, stay vigilant, know what you hold, not financial advice. If you're here at the end of the video, I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are awesome. If you made it to the end, comment stoic, and be sure to like, subscribe. Okay, I appreciate every one of you. It really, really helps the channel when you hit the like button and leave a comment. So if you can do that for me, please do. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.